How important is it to cast a project correctly?
I would say pretty important. I mean, I feel like we've all seen those movies where it just feels like someone is totally miscast. I've been really lucky in that everything that I have cast, I have been able to have at least one rehearsal before we even get to the day of filming, which has helped. I think that helped a lot with like making sure we were all on the same page when it came the time to shoot. Because once you're shooting, especially these shorts, you have maybe 4 to 6 hours if you're lucky. If you're really lucky, you have a whole day, but you don't get to spend a whole lot of time with the cameras rolling. So I think making sure that you get the people that you want, and as much as you can, having those rehearsals and those conversations with the actor and the DP and the crew of what you want the vision to be.
Since you do multiple things, acting, directing, editing, producing, writing, everything, like why is it that you wanted to do all of those things and not stay in just one?
Probably because I have issues with control would be the real answer. But I think the creating of something is so fun, and I love being involved from the beginning to the end. And I think it's one of those things, like I think especially as a writer, when you're writing, you get such a specific vision in your head, and I think that's why a lot of writers become directors, is because they want to have that control of their script and that vision of what they were writing come to fruition, which sometimes when you turn it over to someone else, it's very interesting to see what it could become, but it might not be that thing that was in your head. So I think there's value in both. There's value in writing something and then letting it go. But then I think there's a value in writing something and seeing it all the way through to see what you can create and what like you can piece together, and what it starts in your head as and what it ends up on the screen as is such an interesting process to me.
How do you approach projects differently if you've written them versus if someone else has written them?
Ooh. When I write them, I feel like I tend to be a little more organized. I think because I start developing my plan of how to make it as I'm writing it, just naturally, like in my head, I'll start thinking through the shots that I want or how I want the edit to be or who might be a good person to cast. I think if I'm brought onto someone else's project, it takes a minute to figure out how involved they want me to be and like how much of the role they want me to take on versus how much they want it to still be kind of their baby. So I think figuring out that dynamic of, okay, I'm just in this one lane and this is what I'm really going to focus on versus when it's something that I've written, I kind of have a bigger overall vision for it.
What do you think the importance of the indie film community is in Atlanta?
I think it's really important because I think we have some incredibly talented people here, and I think that some of the stuff that Atlanta is making is mind-blowingly good. I see some of the stuff that people have made and just some of the talent we have here, and I think as we continue to grow, more and more people are kind of recognizing that Atlanta has a lot to offer. Giving space for people who don't have the big budgets, don't have the big representation, to just create things and try things is such a powerful, beautiful thing, and some of the best work comes out of it.
What makes people laugh?
Jokes. I guess the more serious answer would be, I think what makes people laugh is shared experiences and just feeling the same thing, I guess, at the same time. Like, I think it's that thing of like, it's why when you're alone watching something, you might not laugh out loud. But when you're in a group, all of a sudden you have this like energy and you're laughing out loud and it feels so great. And I think it's because it's a shared experience. So I think that's what makes people laugh.